And anytime I needed to do something that I wasn't already familiar with, there was no figuring out how to do it. There was handing it back to the user and saying, this is what I need, open it.
Right. Because
it's so intuitive that if you know how this stuff works, it becomes counterintuitive.
Okay.
That's ultimately, hey, we've got audio. Thank you, Ian.
Oh, lovely. Thank you, Ian. All right.
So, all right, we are back. I already had the stream button hit anyway because, I mean, there was no reason not to, really. So we have audio again. So if you've been listening at discord.lrn.fm or twitch.lrn.fm, you can now listen to us actually there.
Yeah, watch too.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. Yeah, I don't remember what all I said, but that was what I was trying to say. The video feed is back online anyway, so
watch us on Twitch, YouTube, and wherever we end up after that.
So Facebook, that is how you fix tech issues. You just get Ian to come over here and click some stuff. So give Ian a call. He'll come up there and he'll click some stuff. You cut him a check, and problem solved.
There you go.
Facebook is still down.
Still?
I did get my post out there about the technical issues we were having.
Yeah, I tried to like your post and it didn't work.
It is there, at least. It took several tries to get it to post, and now I'm trying to read messages that were sent to me that are important to me, but can't because Facebook is a piece of crap today.
Yeah, still is.
But Facebook clearly is not alone in having problems. We had issues with YouTube as well.
Yep, YouTube.
And then we had the issue here in the studio with the audio mix. Yeah, not loading up for whatever reason. So it's been a fun day, but we are back in order. So moving on with tech news. Apparently a Windows 10 bug. Oh my God, hold on. Dwarf Fortress is a game that I play a lot.
Okay.
I don't play it a lot recently because it's like Minecraft.
I'm sure I've never played it.
Really? It's like Minecraft in the sense that you're building and creating things. You're exploring a world.
Okay.
But rather than controlling a character, it's more like The Sims, where you control a bunch of dwarfs. And you don't directly control them. You just give them preferences about what they should be doing and things like that, like mining or skinning or cooking or whatever. It is one of the most involved and technically difficult games ever made. The amount of stuff it simulates is absolutely ridiculous. Like, spit will freeze in midair if it's sufficiently cold.
Okay.
But only if it's sufficiently cold. And it's goofy in that a lot of really weird stuff happens, like a kitten can bite off a golem's head accidentally and things like that. Because, I mean, when you have simulations of that scale, it's going to have quirky effects, and that's part of the fun.
Right.
But it's all ASCII based, right? There are no graphics to the game whatsoever. Your dwarf is a little smiley face. A mammoth, which is deadly, is a capital M, and so on.
Okay.
There are graphical tile sets that you can install, and I do install them because I don't have the desire to learn to interpret the game through ASCII. Anyway, it's coming to Steam, finally, after years of being an alpha product. Dwarf Fortress, the famously complex and often inscrutable colony simulation, impossible to learn to play, by the way. You have to use a guide. The game guide for this game wasn't written by a game guide company. It was written by an actual technical manual writing company.
Right.
The new version will be published by Kit Fox Games, a Montreal-based independent studio, and will include graphics, music, sounds, and Steam Workshop integration. An ASCII-based mode will still be available in this new version, and development of the original game will continue unabated. Okay, so it seems like they're just kind of porting this specific version of the game to Steam.
Yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like.
Also known as Slaves to Armok, God of Blood, Chapter 2, Dwarf Fortress. The game has been in development since 2003 by a two-man team of Tarn Adams and Zach Adams, a.k.a. Bay 12 Games. The elaborate simulation has 3 different modes. I'm not going to get into all of that because it just describes the gameplay. But it procedurally generates a world. You set out with your expedition of 7 bipolar, because they're totally bipolar, alcoholic midgets. And you're tasked with organizing these midgets, these bipolar alcoholic midgets, into producing a society. And if that sounds difficult, it's because it is.
Yeah,
it's extremely difficult.
That's
because anything can happen at any time. Because of the random nature of the game, you're just sitting out there mining. Oh no, demons are attacking.
That sounds like it's going to be harder than escaping with the amulet of Yendor from NetHack. Did you ever play NetHack?
No, I played Rogue.
Your time, but...
I played Rogue.
Oh, Rogue was even earlier.
Yeah. Well, I only played it for the history of it. I didn't play it back then, obviously, because I wasn't even born.
Right.
But I did go back and play it because, roguelike is a term that gets thrown out a lot these days. And very few of these games are actually roguelike. But it's Dwarf Fortress, if you've never played it, I do have videos of me playing it on my YouTube channel. And you will occasionally see me streaming it to YouTube and Twitch. On those really rare occasions where I feel like doing something that crazy. Because I don't know how to describe it beyond Sims with alcoholic bipolar midgets, which is what everybody calls them. Each one has a fully fleshed out personality. Each of these dwarfs has a fully fleshed out personality. Their own likes, preferences, religious beliefs, all kinds of crap. The amount of simulation within this game is just staggering. And it was developed primarily by one dude. I don't know whether it was Tarn or Zach, but they're called Toady. And they post regular updates to the Bay 12 website about what is going on in the game.
Yeah, I did pull up their website, and it sure does look like it came out of 2003.
The game does?
The website.
Oh, the website. Well, they're too busy updating the game to update the website, to be fair.
I could not even read it on my phone. It was that 2003.
Now, interesting, because of how the game develops and how it is, when you go to create a new world, you can just let it run forever, if you would like. Generating backstories and histories and various things that have happened. This colony existed and it died out due to plague or whatever. It will crash your computer. This ASCII-based game that isn't even displaying anything at the moment. It's just text. It will still crash your game because of the amount of work it's simulating in the background.
Just generating a backstory.
Yeah, a lot of these beginner packages of Dwarf Fortress, they include population caps and things like that to keep it from becoming so overwhelming that even a modern gaming PC is not going to be able to handle it. But it's called Dwarf Fortress. It's definitely worth checking out. You can find it over at bay12.com.
Games, whatever.
Yeah.
Free Talk Live.
I was in the military for 31 years, and I hear all this talk about the draft and defending freedom and all that. From my perspective, as I'm ex-Navy, I never defended anybody's freedom, American or anybody else's. I was a hired thug for the U.S. government. It's just propaganda put out by the government, and it's we're the best and the brightest, and all of that just makes me ill because of all the millions of people that have died because the American military is all over the world. There's nobody attacking us. I mean, our government is like every other government. It's run by degenerate psychopaths that are power mad, and I have no clue what goes on inside their mind, but it's nothing good.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with the Liberty Beat for Wednesday, March 13th, 2019. Gold opened the day at $1,307. Silver opened at $15.46. And Bitcoin is trading around $3,851. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, a recent report from the New York Times shows that the National Security Agency has quietly shut down a controversial phone record surveillance program revealed by whistleblower Edward Snowden in 2013. The claim was made by a senior Republican congressional aide who told the newspaper that the Trump administration had stopped using the program, which analyzes the domestic call and text logs of American citizens due to technical problems. Mint-Press News reports that Snowden on Twitter hailed the news as a victory, while Intercept journalist Glenn Greenwald, who broke the Snowden story to international acclaim, took the story at face value. Neither of them raised the obvious question: is the shutdown of the program merely a smokescreen to continue spying on American phones under new or different secretive programs? Further doubt has been cast on the New York Times report, as the NSA refused to confirm or deny the story. But during a recent major security conference, the agency did claim that they are still in a deliberative process about whether to use a revamped version of the vast database of American phone records. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybravebotanicals.com. And right now, Liberty Beat listeners can save 10% by using promo code SNLS at checkout. This is the Liberty Beat for Wednesday, March 13th, 2019. Your news now continues. The Lawyers Committee for 9/11 Inquiry has announced the filing of a petition supplement naming persons who may have information related to the use of explosives at the World Trade Center. The Free Thought Project reports that Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth says the 33-page document contains 15 different categories of persons who may have information material to the investigation, including contractors and security companies that had access to the World Trade Center towers before 9/11, persons and entities who benefited financially from the demolitions, and persons arrested after being observed celebrating the World Trade Center attacks. The Lawyers Committee for 9/11 Inquiry successfully submitted a petition to the federal government demanding that the U.S. Attorney present to a special grand jury extensive evidence of yet-to-be-prosecuted federal crimes relating to the destruction of 3 World Trade Center towers on 9/11-2001. After waiting months for the reply, the U.S. Attorney responded in a letter, noting that they will comply with the law. Venezuelan authorities continue working to bring back online the electric grid following a massive outage that began Thursday, March 7th. According to the anti-media, on-ground testimonies and official sources say that power finally began to reach Venezuela's western states on Monday night. Electricity has now been restored, at least in some areas of every state. President Nicolas Maduro gave a televised address Tuesday evening, offering more details about the alleged attack against the country's electrical infrastructure. According to Maduro, both the computerized system in the Curry Dam on Thursday afternoon and the central electrical brain in Caracas on Saturday morning suffered cyber attacks, while recovery was delayed by physical attacks against transmission lines and electrical substations. Maduro claimed that the attacks were directed from Chicago and Houston, and that more evidence will be presented soon. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network. featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat for Wednesday, March 13th, 2019. Reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
NASA announced the discovery of a mile-wide asteroid this week that could potentially trigger a global level of extinction, forcing upscale fashion retailer Nordstrom out of business. Researchers confirm that the celestial object is traveling at speeds exceeding 29,000 miles per hour, threatening to slam into the planet with more than 1 million megatons of force, enough to jeopardize operations at all 117 full-line Nordstrom locations.
Unless we can find some way to divert or intercept the asteroid, all 7 billion people on Earth, including all 62,500 Nordstrom employees, may die. Even if the asteroid breaks into smaller pieces upon entering to the atmosphere, a death toll as low as several hundred million could still slow foot traffic in stores and reduce online orders from Nordstrom's subsidiary, Hot Look.
Humanity is surprised it still hasn't figured out an alternative to letting power-hungry assholes decide everything. And a magical office worker is able to turn everything he touches into more work for his colleagues.
This is the Onion News Network.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Welcome back to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. As always, I am your host, Aria DiMezzo, and I'm joined in the studio today by
Michael Hampton
of BitcoinHistory.com. The anarchist Shemale versus the crying Nazi. We're down to a little over 48 hours before it's happening live on March the 15th at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unrestricted, unbiased, uncensored, and ultimately unnecessary. The third and final grudge match between the Call to Freedom's Aria DiMezzo and the Outlaw Conservatives' Chris Cantwell will happen live for all the world to see at twitch.lrn.fm. Streamed simultaneously to YouTube and recorded and several other things just in case we get the plug pulled on us. You'll be welcome to call in and challenge either participant after 10:30 p.m. and you'll be able to do so at 603-283-6160. So don't miss this one-time event between notoriously opinionated personalities, Shemale versus Nazi, live March the 15th at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hopefully we'll have all the technical issues worked out, right?
All of the technical issues are worked out now.
And they'll stay worked out.
Well, presuming. So, I mean, computers do weird stuff sometimes. But you also brought in a story about Venezuela. Now, one of the things I've been seeing lately in regard to Venezuela is this allegation that they, whoever they is, might not be telling us the truth about what is happening in Venezuela. And, you know, there's certainly some validity to that position in that the United States government, they absolutely did lie about Iraq and Bosnia and Russia. Yep. You know, but if you're going to go this far in your support of socialism, that you're going, well, they're not telling the truth about Venezuela, Maduro says everything is just fine, then why are you trusting them about Russian interference in the U.S. election? You moron.
I know, right?
If you're going to have this position of everything the government says is a lie, which, you know, is more often than not true, then stick to that position. Where's that same incredulity, that same skepticism in regard to the Russian interference in the election? But as Venezuela's 5-day power blackout left homes without water, Lilibeth Tejedor found herself looking for it on Monday in the last place she would have imagined. A drain pipe feeding into a river carrying sewage through the capital Caracas?
Yeah.
Tejedor, 28, joined dozens of people who had flocked to the river, with snakes along the bottom. We don't, God, no one, we don't need a geography lesson, Rooters. Unlike the fetid liquid flowing through the river, the water emerging from the pipe was at least clear. Those who gathered to collect it said the water had been released by local authorities from reservoirs. Which is one more reason why you shouldn't let the government be in control of the water, because it was day 5, evidently, before they actually released it.
Indeed. You know, the thing about the state running the infrastructure is they in Venezuela on the street there, they didn't know for the longest time that this was going to be the end result of Hugo Chavez and now Maduro.
Well, they should have.
They should have, yeah. But we had plenty of historical examples. But, you know, a demagogue like that can definitely get people riled up and make them think whatever they want to think.
Certainly. And we see that playing out in the United States with Donald Trump, Cortez, Bernie Sanders, who had a rally here in Keene, New Hampshire, Sunday, that I did not find out about because I would have totally been late to work in order to be there.
Yeah, we did have someone go. Andy went to it, so you can definitely ask him.
He doesn't appear to be as diehard libertarian as some of us, from what I gathered. I mean, he seems to agree with Bernie on a few things, and there is absolutely nothing with which I agree with Sanders. I would have been thrown out, probably arrested, but I would have been
the news.
Oh, it would have been glorious. It would have been so much fun. I would have been out in time for Shimo versus Nazi. But
hopefully.
I could have promoted that there. That would have been even more fun. Just go in there with a big giant sign, Shimo versus Nazi, March 15th.
Oh, my.
Draw a bigger crowd than Sanders.
Yeah, probably so.
They added, however, that the water was being carried through unsanitary pipes and should only be used to flush toilets or scrub floors.
So where are you going to get the drinking water from then?
Well, that evil capitalism that people hate so much, it has invented a straw that will purify water as you drink it.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Evil capitalism, right? I would recommend the people of Venezuela somehow acquire these straws, or even, that wouldn't be a bad charity in and of itself.
Yeah, get some water filters down there, yeah.
Yeah, I think they only cost like 70 cents a piece. So, I mean, that's certainly something that a charity that raises $1,000 could go a long way to help the people of Venezuela actually have access to clean drinking water now that socialism has proven to be just like socialism.
Yeah, again,
I've never even
learning this lesson.
I know, and it frustrates me so much because the other day someone shared this Facebook meme, a friend of mine who leans much harder to the left than I do, a trans friend of mine, about the 3 stages of being trans. The first one was, I feel like a girl. The second one was, I am a girl. Mm-hmm. And the third one was, down with capitalism.
Down with capitalism, yeah. This is a non sequitur, though. How do you get from I am a girl to down with capitalism?
Well, you certainly don't. I'm not easily offended, but I will admit that offended me because it denies my existence as a person. It denies my validity, and it literally states that you're not really, well, it doesn't literally state it in exact words, but it does state.
It implies that you're not actually trans
unless you're a socialist.
Right.
And when I challenged them on this, one of the people who likes this hardcore leftist socialist LGBT group decided to point out to me that, some of us take a little longer to turn against the evil that is capitalism or something like that. Oh, so
evil, huh?
So you're going to just double down on this denying my validity and my right to hold my own beliefs because they don't agree with yours. How very tolerant of you.
Well, they're not about tolerance. That's not what this is all about. They are about power.
Not all of us are willing to sign up to an ideology that historically has been used to exterminate people like us.
Right.
I don't know why they would.
Because they see it as a gateway to taking power for themselves and becoming the oppressors.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what they're doing. And that's why we see this, I hate the cis white male crap that we see, because they want their chance at being the oppressors.
That's all I can come up with.
Tejedor says that she's never seen this before. It's horrible. Preparing to carry the container on a small hand cart back to her home in the neighborhood of San Agustin. She works at a computer technology store, has a 2-year-old daughter, and takes care of 2 nieces. And there's a photo here of these people collecting this water. It is indeed clear, but it does go through sewage pipes, so that sucks. I wouldn't want to drink it, but, you know, that's socialism for you. These people are drinking sewage water, effectively.
That's how it works.
That's
socialism right
So
there.
first we had Maduro's brilliant idea of, you know, you can just breed rabbits and eat those. This was their economic plan. Let me state this for the record. If your economic plan has the word bunny or breed in it, your economic plan sucks. And you have done something wrong somewhere along the way.
No, you've done a lot wrong to get to that point.
Yeah. Considering Venezuela's store shelves used to be stocked, and of course they blame the United States and things like that.
Well, of course they blame the United States.
It's because the U.S. won't trade with them. Okay, so you're admitting that Venezuela has to have an outside source of resources and income in order to sustain itself, that socialism isn't self-sustaining and that it needs to receive resources, financial help, and food.
Yeah, you basically just admitted the whole thing doesn't work right there.
Yeah, so if the United States adopts this system, who's going to be our outside provider that keeps us going in this terrible economic system that kills millions of people every single time? This is the call to freedom.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
Welcome back. This is the Call to Freedom. As always, you're invited to give us a call at 603-283-6160. Once more, that's 603-283-6160, or you can use the Discord call-in lines at discord.lrn.fm. We're going to move on from the discussion about Venezuela because there's so much that's already been said about it, to the death penalty order in California and how Fox News argues that it gives reprieve to these serial killers and child murderers.
Oh, wait, what?
Now, I
hadn't seen this one.
Yeah, I'm not aware of what they're referring to specifically in regard to the death penalty order. I'm sure that's within the article, at least I hope it is, but I've got very low standards I've got very low expectations when it comes to most news outlets. But I remember a few years ago, California attempted to pass one of two death penalty laws. They were on ballot initiatives or something like that. One of which would have repealed the death penalty and forbidden the state from using it. The other would have sped it up considerably because nearly everyone on death row reports that the worst part about it is that it takes, decades before they finally die.
Right.
Before they're finally killed, murdered by the state. And having that sort of Damocles holding over their heads for that length of time.
Yeah, waiting to die.
Yeah. Sucks. Child murderers, rapists, and serial killers who torture their victims with everything from ice picks to a 4-foot twig. Okay, look, if it's 4 feet long, I don't think the noun you want to use is a twig. That is a branch, not a twig. Are set to have their lives spared Wednesday until at least 2023. As California Governor Gavin Newsom signs an executive order to halt death penalties in the state. Now, I'm of the mind that the state should not have the authority to kill anyone.
No, it shouldn't.
The controversial decision by the Democrat, which has drawn the ire of one of his adversaries, President Trump, was influenced by his belief that California's death penalty system has discriminated against defendants who are mentally ill, black and brown, or can't afford expensive legal representation.
That happens everywhere there's a death penalty.
Well,
So
it happens everywhere, even in places that don't have a death penalty. For me, the issue with the death penalty is that a lot of people are ultimately exonerated from a lot of these offenses by DNA evidence and things like that. Now, if we accidentally kill one person who was completely innocent in our lust for vengeance against people who have actually done things that are immoral, then we're no better than the immoral person who tortured and killed people in the first place, because we literally did that to an innocent person at that point.
If you think that's okay, then you need to go strap yourself into the electric chair.
Yeah, because we know that, people who have been in prison for 20 years, 30 years, things like that, have ultimately been proven to be innocent. But once you kill them, you can't release them from prison. And however much it's horrific and terrible to put someone in prison for 30 years when they weren't actually guilty of anything, it's far worse to have actually killed them when they were totally innocent.
We know there actually have been innocent people executed by the state. It's happened. There's a list on Wikipedia. So
Newsom, in prepared remarks he is expected to deliver Wednesday, also says the system has wasted billions of taxpayer dollars. Well, that would be because it's slow. And I imagine it's slower in California than it is in a lot of places.
It's slow and unwieldy and, expensive.
The state's residents, though, in 2016 narrowly struck down a ballot measure to repeal the death penalty. And Newsom's decree appears to be a flip-flop from what he told the editorial board of the Modesto Bee newspaper that year while campaigning for the failed measure, that he would not get his personal opinions in the way of the public's right to make a determination of where they want to take us on the issue.
Well, politicians lie.
Yeah, that's
not news.
Yeah, and that's the ultimate. I'm glad that California is getting to see the ultimate failure of representation, which is that ultimately it really only matters what the representative wants to do. And that if he wants to stay death penalties, which good on him, I suppose, you ought to release all of these people as well. Yes, even the ones accused and found guilty in a court of law by the state of committing these admittedly horrible crimes should be released. We have other ways we can deal with them. And speaking of those other ways, I have flip-flopped today. 100% reversal, 180-degree turn. I am no longer against participation trophies.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How did this happen?
Because it all stems from the belief that the best way to have a society is not to punish bad behavior, but to reward good behavior.
Okay.
So when someone does something good that you want to see more of, it really doesn't matter if they did it excellently or if they were, poor at it.
Right.
They participated. They tried. They put in the effort. If you want to see more effort, more trying, more participation, reward them.
Right.
And that's essentially what the participation trophy is. So I can't be consistent. It's fine. I can't be consistent with both this position of we don't need a vengeance-based justice system. We need one that's based on love and forgiveness and that rewards people for good behavior rather than punishing people for bad behavior, while also saying, we shouldn't give people rewards for every little thing they do that happens to be good.
Right. You've got to, just just showing up and not doing anything, probably you shouldn't get a participation trophy.
Well, yeah, because you're not participating. But those who participate absolutely should. Yeah. I mean, even the kid who does nothing but strike out and does nothing, never catches a ball, can't even throw. As long as he tries, I think he should be given a participation trophy.
Yeah,
because he tries.
Okay, I'll go with that.
So I mean, it's a shocker for me because it is a complete 180 from positions I've expressed here on the show. But I am nothing if not adaptive and changing, and so I am changing my beliefs to be more consistent with what the other beliefs suggest to me.
So what was there something in particular that led you to this?
I was thinking about how the, nihilism in Western society. This is what I think about when I'm doing makeup and crap like that. And it occurred to me that in the past that the LGBT pride is essentially like getting a participation trophy for life. It's like, I'm not good at anything else, but I'm gay, so I'm proud of that.
Okay.
Where versus me, I'm like, well, I host a radio show and wrote a book. I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
Qualitative differences there.
Well, you're trans. Can't you be proud of that too?
I'm not proud of that, though.
Why not?
Because it's like being proud of being white. I don't have any control over it. It's just a thing. I'm not proud of being 6 feet tall either. I mean, it's just how I am. I don't see any point in taking pride in characteristics rather than taking pride in achievements.
Okay.
But we'll get back to more of this discussion, I guess, about participation trophies and the death penalty. So don't go anywhere. This is The Call to Freedom, only on LRN.FM.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio is great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Welcome back to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.fm. Speaking of roguelikes earlier, what you're hearing now is music from Binding of Isaac, which is one of those games often said to be a roguelike game, and that it's randomly generated. It's very difficult. And I think that's the only reason they really call it a roguelike. It's more like a...
It's ASCII?
It is not. It's a fully text-based game. I mean, fully graphical.
Graphical? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why I said text-based. I don't know. Anyway, it's a fun game. as far as I have found, there's no easy way to stream it, unfortunately, because it's one of those games that was ultimately made for streaming.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun. It's very difficult. I think I've got about 112 hours played on it on my Steam profile.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so made by the same people who made Super Meat Boy, whose music you also hear quite a lot on the show. If it sounds kind of creepy and exhilarating like that, it's going to be Binding of Isaac. If it sounds cartoonish and a bit more playful, it's Super Meat Boy. Both games made by the same people, same musician. Awesome games, awesome music. Definitely check out either of those. That's Super Meat Boy or Binding of Isaac. You're invited to give us a call at 603-283-6160 or use the Discord call-in lines at discord.lrn.fm because Fox is really cranking up the emotional appeal dial here on this death penalty story. So let's get back to that. Here are some of the criminals that get to live a bit longer without fear of execution following Newsom's decision. Scott Peterson. The disappearance of Scott's 27-year-old wife. Now, before we get into that, whoops, that was the hold button I hit.
Okay, well, they're on hold then.
Well, they were until I did that.
Yeah.
You see me hitting the hold button,
Yeah,
right?
I see you hitting the hold button, but it's...
And it keeps... Okay, whatever. I'm going to go with they're on hold right now. The disappearances of Scott's 27-year-old wife, Lacey Patterson, who was 8 months pregnant, gripped the nation in the early 2000s, yet ended in tragedy after her body was found dumped in San Francisco Bay. Peterson, in a nationally televised case, was found guilty of her and their unborn son's murder and was exposed to be living a double life. There's also Lawrence Bittaker, dubbed by the media as the Toolbox Killer. He was one of half of a sadistic duo convicted of raping and killing 5 teen girls in 1979. After torturing them with household items such as pliers and screwdrivers. I've actually read about their case. It's horrifically more. Hey, we know somebody is calling. I can't actually address it right now. Just give us a moment. I'm going to put you on hold again. So just sit. It seems to have hung up on you. Sorry about that. 1979 was when he committed his crime. 1979. And it is now 2019. It is 40 years later. And he is still
waiting to be executed
on death row. That's insane.
Yeah, that's and how much does this guy's case cost just to process all the appeals?
Kevin Cooper was convicted in the 1983 murders of Doug and Peggy Ryan, their 10-year-old daughter Jessica, and 11-year-old neighbor Christopher. The family neighbor had been brutally attacked with multiple weapons, including a hatchet, knife, and ice pick, while their 8-year-old son survived. For years, he's claimed he was framed for the killings. Newsom and former Governor Jerry Brown in recent months have ordered new DNA testing of evidence from the investigation. So he's probably innocent.
He's possibly innocent, yeah.
Randy Kraft, who came to be known as the scorecard killer, murdered at least 16 young men over a period of 11 years beginning in 1972. So there are a lot of killers, and they do go back 40 plus years, it seems.
What's the thing about that is this guy is probably innocent, and I'm not sure why Fox News threw his case in there, because I wasn't really expecting them to be that unbiased about it, or that less. They were less biased than I was expecting them to be. Let's put it that way. But we have seen a lot of innocent people, more than you would expect. And I wish I had the article pulled up. I was reading an article the other day about how many innocent people there are in prison, and it was estimating that there's something like maybe 10% of the prison population is actually innocent.
Oh, at least. And those who are, and a lot of them are just guilty of things that shouldn't be crimes in the first place.
Yeah, and that's more than 50% of the prison population.
But I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Prison at all, because what they were convicted for should not be a crime.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that no matter what they did, nobody should be on death row for 47 years.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It says he would typically ply them with alcohol and tranquilizers before torturing, binding, and sexually abusing them. He usually killed them by strangulation, asphyxiation, or bludgeoning. He obtained his nickname after investigators discovered a coded list of 61 printed terms and phrases believed to refer to each of his victims. In one of the most gruesome killings, connected to the term Twiggy, the victim, 19-year-old James Dale Reeves of Cypress, was found near the side of the San Diego freeway with a 4-foot-long twig stuffed inside a body cavity.
Oh, my.
Why do they keep calling it a twig?
Maybe it was a twig, a 4-foot-long twig. That seems a little strange, but maybe it just really was kind of very thin like a twig.
There's also Marcus Wesson, the former leader of a cult-like clan who was convicted for killing 9 of his children in 2004, all of which he had fathered with his wife, nieces, and daughters in a sickening tale of incest and sexual abuse. He killed the children, 7 of whom were under the age of 9. They said which, but whom is actually correct, after a standoff with police in Fresno over a custody dispute. Jerry Dyer, Fresno's chief of police at the time, told KFSN this week that Wesson was able to control the minds of people to do the unthinkable, very similar to what Charles Manson did. Well, he's not alone in that. There are quite a lot of people.
Yeah, there are millions of people running around out there who can do that. That's not special. Well, lots of those people don't get caught committing murder. So,
Davis, there's also Richard Allen Davis, who drew national attention in 1993 for the kidnapping, raping, and murder of 12-year-old Polly Klaas, a Petaluma girl who was snatched, who was snatched from her home at gunpoint during a sleepover with her friends while her mother was nearby. The search for Klaas before she was found dead, like the Peterson case, was a major story. So a lot of these people, I mean, they picked like the worst people they could find to say, oh, these people are not going to be murdered now.
Except for the one that's possibly innocent.
And you should be outraged about this thing that's happening in California where you don't even live because you're reading Fox News. Now, there are conservatives in California, obviously, duh.
There's a few left.
Yeah. But the majority of people reading this are not going to be in California. The majority of people being outraged about this are not going to be in California. So let me explain to you people who are reading this, not in California. California is a different state from the state that you live in. Now, if you're arguing that the federal government should step in and do something about this, what you're effectively arguing is tyranny of the states by the federal government, which we kind of fought a war about and lost.
Yeah.
But it has long been the Republican position-ish that we should have states not be totally at the mercy of the federal government.
Oh, states' rights, that's a code word for slavery, you racist.
I have heard that. I don't believe it to be the case, obviously. I think that you can have... No, I don't think they should be on death row. Zorasta has asked that on Twitch. I do not believe they should be on death row. I believe that if we actually caught them committing these grievous acts... We don't have time to get into this. We'll get into that when we get back on the Call to Freedom. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to explain to you why I don't think these people should be on death row and what I think we should do with them on the Call to Freedom.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Toll House Morsels, helping you create special moments and memories your family will cherish forever. Visit us at tollhouse.com. You may bake for birthdays and holidays, but why stop there? Sweeten up the rest of the year by designating monthly dessert days. Treat your family to one of their favorites or surprise them with something new. Either way, you'll create a tradition everyone will love. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. convictions. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom live on LRN.fm. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.fm.
Welcome back. This is the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM, broadcast as always from the Liberty Radio studio here in Keene, New Hampshire. And if you really like the show, I invite you to check us out at Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/call to freedom. And I am aware, and I am working on taking care of it. So just chill out for a moment, and that idiot spamming up the chat will be gone.
I didn't say a thing, but yeah, I see it now.
No, I just have never had to ban any idiot from Twitch, so I'm not exactly sure where to go in order to do that.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, so it may take me a second to find. He's not posting anything malicious. It's just annoying.
Yeah, well,
because now he's got the shout out on the air, so he got what he wanted.
That looks like just a bunch of emojis over and over.
Yeah,
what's the point?
Like, I don't know, to be annoying, I suppose. But again, that's patreon.com/call to freedom. If you would like to actually support the show and
spam
all
us
that
with
good
some
stuff.
Cash.
Yeah, definitely spam us with some cash. We would not mind that at all.
We won't ban you for doing that.
Now, what is this guy's name? Because I've already lost it.
Can't you just click on his name and then ban him?
Yeah, it doesn't give me that option, though. It gives me the option to block him and to report him, neither of which kept him from making comments. So I will attempt this. Okay. I don't know. I'll just get Ian to do it.
Yeah, we'll get it done.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome back to the show. I was going to explain the issues with the death penalty and things like that. Now, obviously, the primary issue with the death penalty is that you have nobody who can actually enforce it other than the state.
Not with a clean conscience, anyway.
Right. And
the state can't even do it with... Well, the state doesn't have a conscience. So that's... There you go.
I do have cleavage. I don't show it. Guy on Twitch who wants to know about that. So, interesting questions. And it's not a subject I mind talking about. So, feel free to ask me any questions you want. If you can, get them posted past this idiot spamming crap. I don't really care. We're pretty open on this show. We have a caller right now who wants to get on the air to talk about how the Jews did 9/11. And
Did they?
I don't think they did.
I've heard a whole lot of 9/11 conspiracy theories, but that one I've never, ever, ever heard.
Yeah, I don't believe that to be the case, but clearly someone does.
Oh.
Sorry, I got thrown off by something totally...
Sorry, I was too busy face-palming.
About whether or not it's okay to rub one out. That's the question we've been asked. Yeah, we just do it. I don't think it's gay. Is it gay to beat off to a she-male? Is that gay?
Who cares?
Yeah, what's wrong with being gay? Let's say it's gay. It's totally gay. And I would say, it's a little gay.
Okay, maybe it's gay, but really, who cares? It's your
it is.
Whatever.
And, I can understand a lot of people do have reservations about having this label applied to them because, even after coming out as trans, I identified as a lesbian to people for years. And I am primarily attracted to women. I can't even say that honestly anymore. I guess I would just characterize myself as bisexual now. But I didn't want that label of bisexual or gay or whatever thrown at me. And I don't know why, except, there's so much judgment around it in the part of the United States that I'm from that I didn't want to face that judgment, which is interesting. I'm more than willing to go out in public in the state of freaking Mississippi looking like this. But God forbid somebody call me gay, right? And it's not even that they called me gay that would bother me. It was, the judgment aspect of that. And the, oh, you're a disgusting subhuman creature.
Yeah, and they're using different words than gay.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they would call me a fag, for sure. And I was called a fag several times. Queer, all kinds of crap. And it never bothered me. One of the weirdest experiences I ever had, though, was when I was going through line at a gas station. Not a gas station, at a store. And I wasn't fully out at this point, so I was just dressed as a dude. Relatively normal-looking dude, just with longer hair.
Right.
And I think my nails may have been painted pink. Not a normal dude thing to do. But this black dude came up behind me, because there's a lot of black people in Mississippi. A lot of people don't seem to get that. But there are, we can't be racist in Mississippi because we actually literally have to coexist with black people in large numbers. You don't survive. You don't have any friends. You're an isolated piece of crap if you're openly racist in the state of Mississippi. I've encountered more racism here in New Hampshire than I ever encountered in Mississippi.
I believe that.
Because here, if you see one black person, that's weird. But in Mississippi, that's your 8 o'clock to 8:15.
Yeah, I think I've seen 5 unique black people in Keene in the last 6 months.
Yeah, and meanwhile, people in the North and people not in the South constantly criticize people in the South of being racist and things like that, when not only in my experience is it worse here, but there's no real punishment for being openly racist.
Yeah, no one's going to call you out on it because the black people didn't hear you being racist. They're somewhere else.
Yeah. But don't remember how I got off onto any of that.
Oh, we were talking about whether it's okay to rub one out to a she-male.
Yeah, but I was here for months before I even came out as bi, and I didn't even come out. I just started talking about it more openly because I don't care. But that fear of judgment, it stuck with me for a very long time, far longer than it should have. And part of that, I think, was worry about how Will would react to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was larger than that as well. And I think it was just a remnant of that type of Southern upbringing. And
yeah.
Because, I mean, we talked on Free Talk Live once about these bro jobs. And,
right. Yeah. I remember that conversation.
And what they call butt sex. No, we very rarely talk about my trans stuff. Someone has asked on Twitch. We actually very rarely talk about it. It only got mentioned because somebody asked if it was gay to rub one out to me. That's the only reason it got brought up today. Other people are answering it for me, though.
If you want to rub one out, go right ahead. Just do yourself a favor and don't point a camera at it.
Yeah, you can actually find videos of me on Pornhub if you know what to search for. You can go rub one out to that. It'll be more interesting than watching me on Twitch and rubbing one out.
Yeah,
my Facebook is also pretty racy, but I'm not going to give you that.
Not too hard to find.
No, some of my Facebook pics, anyway. I think they're set to friends only. So maybe not all of them. Probably not as many as should be, but you know, then I started using Grindr and things like that, and I think Ian pointed out during one episode of Freer Talk Live, because I can't be on Freer Talk Live without someone making it about my sexuality at some point during the show.
Yeah, it comes up.
Like it did here.
Yeah.
No matter what we're talking about, you're going to have somebody coming in and go, oh my God, you're trans?
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation about that.
Yeah, and it just derailed the whole thing about the...
death penalty.
Death penalty.
But we only had one segment to really get into that anyway, so really we'd have to save that for tomorrow, because that is a complex topic, and I would like to more clearly outline exactly what it is that I think should be done. It comes back to the participation trophy thing I was talking about earlier, though, in that, I mean, psychologically speaking, we do know it is a scientific fact that rewarding good behavior, it more effectively trains people than does punishing bad behavior. You can spank your kids when they do something bad, but it's not going to change their behavior as effectively as it would if instead you rewarded them every time they did something good.
That is true.
And what I'm essentially arguing is that we use that knowledge as the guiding principle of our justice system. And it raises the question of, okay, how do we mass reward these people for doing things that we deem to be good? Well, it just so happens that there is an economic system that does that, and it's called capitalism, or the free market, because it will naturally reward people that do things that the masses of people believe to be good. They'll make more money. They'll be able to buy more stuff. They'll be able to do more things.
Yeah.
That's rewarding them. So that's how society could reward people for good behavior, by getting the state out of the way. Well, this has been the Call to Freedom. Don't go.
Following morning reports indicating that Philadelphia High School for the Performing Arts student Samantha Bylum deals with really weird social pressures on a daily basis, Onion reporters met with the 16-year-old